Good evening to all. Welcome you all to the daily current affairs session brought to you by Ganesh IAS Academy for the date 17th July 2023 for the news which came in Indian Express newspaper. So let's get straight into the current affairs session. First news is the Kurta Bijalpura section of rail line linking India and Nepal begins its operation. Okay, what does the news mention is the Jayanagar, Bijalpura and Bardibas, a cross-border rail line project being built under the India's grant assistance. The second phase of the project linking the Kurda and Bijalpura has begun its operation today. The objective of the project is to boost the people-to-people connectivity between the India as well as the Nepal. This is what the content of the news in relation to the rail link between India and Nepal, particularly the second operationalization of the second phase of the Jayanagar, Bijalpur and Bardibas rail line, which is between exactly Bihar and Nepal. So we have to know about the Jayanagar, Bijalpura, Bardibas rail connectivity project. This is 68.72 kilometer project which will be constructed in three phases. The first phase is Jayanagar, that is from Bihar to Gurda, which is in Nepal. Second phase is from Gurda to Bijalpur, which has begun its operation from today. Third phase is right now is under construction, which will be get ready by 2024. Seems Bijalpura to Bardibas, and phase 1 is already in operation only. So the project will be entirely undertaken by IRCON, that is Indian Railway Construction International Limited, a public sector undertaking. What does the IRCON means? We will see in the upcoming slides. And the operation and maintenance of this project will be given to the Konkan Railway. The Konkan Rail Corporation Limited. And this will be the first broad gauge passenger railway services in Nepal. What does this broad gauge means? There are three types of gauges in rail line. Whenever the particular two lines are separated by some small distance, it is called as narrow gauge. When the two rail lines are separated by certain slight increased distance are called medium gauge. If it is separated by a huge distance is called as broad gauge. This kind of gauge is only being constructed under the Jaipura, Bijalpura, Bardibas rail connectivity project. This was the first time this will be the first broad gauge passenger railway service will have its operation in Nepal. Prior to this, till 2014, a narrow gauge service, as I already said, only the Nepal railway service is based upon only the narrow gauge. What does the IRCON? IRCON means Indian Railway Construction only Limited. It is the subsidiary of Indian Railways, a construction and engineering corporation which specializes in infrastructure for transport, building the infrastructure for transport. It was formed in 1966 to construct various railway projects in India as well as abroad. It comes under Ministry of Railway. And what does the Konkan Railway Corporation Limited means? It is the 741 kilometer line connects Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka states. The Konkan is the coastal strip of land bounded by Sahyadri Hills on the east and the Arabian Sea on the west. This is the geographical part of the Konkan region. This region is enormously rich in mineral resources because of the huge terrain, river flows, as well as many other natural habitats, evergreen habitats that is present across the Konkan region. As a result of which, several kind of challenges will be faced by those engineers, those who are working in Konkan Rail Corporation Limited. As a result of which, there the new kind of challenges, problems being faced by this railway strip has made this railway corporation limited, particularly the Konkan Railway Corporation Limited, more specialized in operationalization of the rail line in the highly challenged terrain. So that is why they have been given the operation and maintenance responsibility for the Indo-Nepal rail line connectivity, and its headquarters right now is in Navi Mumbai. So this is what the details of the news is related to. So what we needed to study further is about the connectivity project between India and Bangladesh, as well as India and Myanmar, and what is the reason for connecting the Myanmar and also Bangladesh. Particularly Myanmar is right now India's foreign relation policy towards Southeast countries is based upon Act East policy. As a result of which, they wanted to have some influence, and their share of India wanted its own share of autonomy relationship with the Southeast Asian countries. So Myanmar is seen as since Myanmar borders India, it is seen as the gateway to reach the Southeast Asian countries. So we have to know about what does the Act East policy mean, because we are seeing, before seeing Act East policy, we have to see about India and Myanmar connectivity project, and we also should know about what colored and multi-purpose project, and also we should also know about Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal motor vehicle agreement. So to increase the passenger movement between these countries, rules and regulations common rules and regulations framed under the BIBIN to enhance the movement of passengers between these four countries. So what does this இந்த போர்டில் இருக்கிறது நியூஸை தாண்டின இந்த விஷயங்களையும் பற்றியும் we have to have some idea about them also. Credit card defaults surged sharply in 2000 financial year 2022-23, which is 30.5% higher than the previous year, according to RBI. See, the gross now non-performing asset, particularly on credit card, has increased in March, which we could easily infer from the heading of the news itself. Among the increase, public sector banks share is the highest, because they share 18% of gross NPA in credit card segment, while in the case of private as well as foreign banks, their respective gross NPA in credit card segment is 1.9% as well as 1.8% only. So this could be the prelims fact, so which we should know about them also. So we have to know about what does the credit card means. A credit card is a payment card which allows the card holder to pay for the goods and service on the basis of the credit provided by the banks or the other financial institutions. A credit card is essentially creates a revolving account. One minute. Okay. A credit card creates a revolving account. A revolving account is nothing but a maximum credit approved by the creditor to the borrower to purchase or do anything within the limit which is approved by the creditor to the borrower, for what it is sanctioned, for what the card is sanctioned to. If it is sanctioned for purchase of only goods for particular amount of money, then the customer could able to purchase the goods for the maximum limit which is prescribed for the card. If it is for service, it could be used for purchase of the service up to the maximum limit fixed by the card issuer, that is creditors. So creates a revolving account from which the card holder can borrow money for payment to merchant. A credit card is not linked to bank account, but it is linked to bank or financial institution which has issued it. If the credit card, in credit card, the amount spent is billed to credit card users through a monthly statement with a definite due of the credit card. A bill will be sent to the customers monthly on the due date. If a bank gives an option for the customers to pay the minimum amount of due so that they could escape from the default, so that they could escape from the enforcement of penalty if the என்னன்னா பேங்க் வந்துட்டு இப்போ டியூ டேட்ல வந்துட்டு ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் அமௌண்ட் நீங்க உங்க பில்லு பேமெண்ட் இவ்வளோ இருக்கு, நீங்க இவ்வளோ பே பண்ணணுன்றது சொல்லுவாங்க. இப்போ கட்ட முடியலன்னா மினிமம் அமௌண்ட் ஆச்சு கட்டுங்கன்னு ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட அமௌண்ட் சொல்லுவாங்க. அந்த குறிப்பிட்ட அமௌண்ட்டும் இஃப் த கஸ்டமர் இஸ் நாட் பேயிங் மீன்ஸ், தென் பேயிங் மீன்ஸ் the bank will wait for 90 days. After 90 days, that particular account will be considered as non-performing asset. If the customer is not paying the minimum amount prescribed by the creditor for the period of 90 days, then the account will be converted into non-performing asset. Then the action in relation to the non-performing asset will be taken against the card holders, that is borrowers, customers. This is what the credit card is about. See, the credit account will be treated as an NPA if the minimum amount due as mentioned in the statement is not paid fully within 90 days. So, as we have studied about credit cards, we should also know about what does the secured as well as unsecured loan means. An unsecured loan is a loan where a borrower is not required to produce any kind of collateral or security to the lender to avail the credit. For we could say the credit card itself the best example for the unsecured loan, where the particular customer should not will not produce any kind of collateral to buy the credit from the bank. Such loan, when defaulted, will become a very big headache for the creditors to make the customers to pay back, because they don't hold any kind of collateral. If the money, the bank doesn't have any kind of the customers collateral to sell those collateral to so that they could able to make up for the loss of money which the customer didn't pay. So this unsecured loan will be considered a certain danger if the money is not paid within a particular period of time. Secure loan is opposite to the unsecured loan, where the borrower is required to provide a collateral or security in order to avail the credit from the borrower, credit from the creditor. So what we needed to study further is, we should know about what does gross NPA means and what net NPA means, which we have discussed in the previous daily current affairs session itself. So please go and have a look at the details relation to the GNPA and NNPA, and what are all the different types of NPA. And there are two types of debt. One is financial debt, another is non-financial debt. A financial debt is the debt created in the financial sectors on particular instrument which are used or approved for use in the financial sector. The other debt which is created in the instrument which is not used or not approved in usage of financial sectors are called non-financial debt. So these are the things which we should know in relation to the details of the news. Save the water. From the heading itself, we could able to know that, come to know that the article is something related to water. What the author has mentioned is, uh, hereafter the flood could be the natural phenomenon. It could be occurring at occurring every time whenever there is heavy rainfall, because heavy rainfall could be the common phenomenon because of the climate change. So hereafter we should be focusing on flood management rather than flood control. We could not able to control the we may not able to control the flood, but we could able to use those floodwaters for other needed purpose. This is what the crux of the editorial which came in the Indian Express. So what does the news is about? As we all know, this year the flood in the North India occurred very early. Usually it would occur only during the later period of monsoon. Studies and expert appraisal have concluded that cities, properties, infrastructure in India cannot be provided with complete flood protection. So there is a need to shift attention and effort from flood control to flood management. That is, rather than preventing the flood reaching the particular asset, people, infrastructure, etc., we should use those flood waters for other important purpose where the water is used. So he has mentioned certain tools like structural measures and non-structural measures. Structural measures, from the name itself, we could able to know that storage reservoirs, embankment, diversion, these are all comes under structural measures, which is right now used to control the floods. Second is non-structural measures. What does it mean is flood forecasting through usage of technologies and early warning system if the flood is going to come to particular place, and flood plain zoning. That is zoning the most important or danger floodplains which could have the potential to get devastated if the flood occurs in those areas. These are all the non-structural measures which is currently in operation to manage the floods. So during the 4-month monsoon season, Indian rivers, mostly all the rivers, carries nearly 75% of the annual flow. Of this, 50 to 20% would occur in a shorter as well as very high flow period, as a result of which the flood could occur during those periods, because the flood is because the water is huge, the speed running flow of the river is also huge, as a result of which there could be huge chance for the flooding of the river could take place. What does the flood flows are means? Flood flows are flows present in a river for short period of time that have huge volumes. தட் இஸ், ஒரு நதி ஓடிக்கிட்டு இருக்கு, அந்த நதியில் வந்து இந்த தண்ணி வந்து ஃபுல் கெப்பாசிட்டியில் ஓடுது, அதுவும் வேகமாக ஓடுது அப்படின்னா it has potential to create flood. So such kind of flows is called as flood flows. And the author has finally given some way forward, that is these structural as well as non-structural measures, and also the blue, green, grey infrastructure which we discussed earlier in the yesterday's daily current affair. These are all the measures which should be used appropriately and also to the place which it suits. If a particular place suits non-structural measures, means then the non-structural measures should be used in those places. The particular places is capable of using, or if the usage of structural measures could provide some positive results, means then the structural measures could be used in those areas. Similarly, the green, blue, grey infrastructure also should be used accordingly to prevent the floods. That blue, green, grey infrastructure should also be used in a place where it is suitable, because every measures are not foolproof. Each and every measures will have its own positive as well as own negative. So this negative could be overcome only when the particular measures are scientifically assessed and implemented in particular area rather than using the one size fit all. Though this is what the author has mentioned in relation to the save the water and use those water for the other purpose, which is very essential. So we have to know about what are all the policy schemes being implemented by government of India to enhance the water capacity in India. First is we have to know about the national water policy 2012 formulated by Department of Water Resource. It advocates rainwater harvesting and conservation of water and highlights the need for augmenting the availability of water through direct use of rainfall. This is what the policy direction of national water policy has mentioned about using it. It also says that there is a need to mobilize the rainwater which is falling freely on the ground. So this water could be should be mobilized and it could be used for other purposes. So what does Central Groundwater Authority means? It is constituted under Section 3(3) of Environmental Protection Act 1986 to regulate and control groundwater development as well as groundwater development and management in the country. It comes under Ministry of Jal Shakti. Ministry of what? So it is created. It is the authority being created under in statutory act, that is Environmental Protection Act. It aims to regulate the groundwater. So what does the Jal Shakti Abhiyan means? It was launched in the third programs or scheme which is being implemented by Government of India to promote or to effectively use the water resource in India. So launched in 2019 with focus on 5 aspects, that is they are water conservation and rainwater harvesting, renovating of traditional and other water bodies, reuse of water and recharging of the structures, watershed development, intensive of afforestation and drinking water sanitation. So these are all the prime focus of Jal Shakti Abhiyan. The crux of the Jal Shakti Abhiyan is to effectively as well as efficiently use the available water resource so that maximum benefit could be taken out from those efficient use of the water resource. Fourth is, what does Atal Bhujal Yojana means? It is sustainable management of groundwater with community participation in the overexploited and water stress area. Using people as the stakeholders, they wanted to promote the groundwater resource in the particular water stressed or overexploited area. The states like Gujarat, Haryana, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh are covered in this area. We could be able to see that most of the areas are dry areas where the groundwater resource has been overly exploited, or they are in water stressed mode. It is being funded by World Bank. This is what the speciality of the scheme is about. This what we should know about the Jal Jeevan Mission. Government of India, in partnership with state, is implementing Jal Jeevan Mission to make a provision of tap water supply to every rural household of the country by 2024, so that drinking water sanitations could be easily established by providing the tap water to every rural household, as a result of which the clean drinking water would be promoted and the related diseases, the related waterborne diseases could be reduced, as a result of which health and nutrition of the people, those who are present in the rural areas, could be promoted or safeguarded from the diseases, particularly waterborne diseases. And fifth is Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. To ensure optimum utilization of the water, it is being implemented under three ministries because it has formed based on amalgamation of important schemes like AIPB. First is AIBP, Accelerated Irrigation Benefit Program under Ministry of Water Resource. Second is River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation, which is being implemented under Ministry of Water Resource, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation. Third is Integrated Watershed Management Program of Department of Land Resource and On-Farm Water Management Practice Project of scheme of Department of Agriculture and Cooperation. So we could able to see Department of Agriculture, Department of Water Resource and Ministry of Water Resource as well as the Land Resource. Many departments are involved in implementing the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. So no, it is not implemented under only one ministry or department. It is being implemented by the amalgamated schemes, and those corresponding ministries combinedly implementing the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. See, Department of Land Resource, which comes under Ministry of Rural Development, Ministry of Water Resource, and then Agriculture Ministry, under which the Department of Agriculture and Cooperation functions. These are the three ministries which are involved in implementing Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. The scheme will be implemented by CIS, I have said, Ministry of Agriculture, Water Resource, and Rural Development. Then another is Bureau of Water Use Efficiency. The Bureau of Water Use Efficiency has been set up for promotion, regulation, and control of efficient use of water in irrigation, industrial, and as well as domestic sectors. The BWUE. The BWUE will be a facilitator for promoting, improving water use efficiency across various sectors like like irrigation, drinking water supplies, power generation in industries in the country. This Bureau of Energy Efficiency is a statutory body under Ministry of Power. It is being created under Energy Conservation Act 2001. Ministry of Power. So what we needed to study further is we have to know about the other statutory or regulatory bodies which is involved in the promoting as well as enhancing the efficiency of water usage in India. So first what we have to study is Air Act as well as Water Act, and then we have to know about United Nations Convention on Combat convention to combat desertification, and also we have to know about the National Mission for Clean Ganga and the Amrut scheme, which we have discussed in the previous daily current affairs session. If anyone does not know about Amrut scheme, please go and refer to the previous videos which I have detailedly explained about them. Fifth is, we should know about the interstate council as well as the zonal council, which is being implemented to promote the cooperation between those states if there is any kind of tussle or disputes are taking place between the states. Sixth is, we have to know about the river management boards in India. What are all the river management boards in India, and what are all the rivers that under those management? So, and also the geography of those rivers also we should be aware of. These are all the things which we should need, which we should need to learn ahead of, apart from the details of the news, so that we could able to have some clarity related to the water use efficiency, promotion of water use efficiency in India. United Kingdom Free Trade Agreement template for other facts in mind. India moves cautiously. So right now India is negotiating with, or now in the verge to close the deal of free trade agreement with the UK. But they have some contentious issues like rule of origin and most favored nation principle of WTO. So what is this rule of origin and most favored nation principle of WTO? We'll see in the upcoming slide. And the model, if that free trade agreement if it's concluded with UK, means this template or model will be replicated in the other countries' free trade agreement, which India right now is negotiating with. For example, EU, European Free Trade Association, Australia, Canada, so on and so forth. So since the news revolves around the India-UK Free Trade Agreement, we have to know about India-UK trade, which is current trade, status of current trade. India has a trade surplus with UK. So India doesn't have trade deficit with UK. India has trade surplus with the UK. UK is one of the largest investor for India, apart from Mauritius, Singapore, and US. UK also has the large inward remittance to India, followed by US as well as UAE. US is top, second is UAE, third is UK in terms of the quantity of the inward remittance obtained by India through the people those who are working in abroad. Joint Economic as well as Trade Committee, which was formed in 2005 between India and UK to promote the business as well as trade as well as and also in investment opportunities in both the countries, and also to tackle the barriers in respect of those segments in both the countries. So since the news mentioned about European Union, we should also know about this European Union also. The European Union is a 1993 international organization made up of European countries. It came into effect after 28 countries signed the Maastricht Treaty, which is the Maastricht Treaty. Maastricht is a city in Netherlands. The Maastricht Treaty is also called as Treaty of European Union. There are 24 official languages of the European Union. The euro is the official currency of 19 of these countries. The 9 European Union members does not use the euro currency. Not all the country will be, all the country who are members of European Union will be using the euro. Only 19 countries will be using them. The European Union has created an internal single market by establishing uniform set of rules and regulations that could apply to all member states in situation where they have agreed to function as one. And also we should know about European Free Trade Association. European Free Trade Association is an intergovernmental organization formed in 1960. It is an alternative trade bloc for the European Union. There are certain countries who doesn't want to join with European Union. They are Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway and Switzerland. Liechtenstein, Norway and Switzerland. These are the four countries that does not want to be a member of European Union. So they themselves formed a association called European Free Trade Association to promote single market between those four countries. So what does this rule of origin is? This was the issue right now, issue which both the countries are negotiating to overcome the rule of origin and its related challenges it poses. The rule of origin means identifying the origin of the commodity, that is the country in which it is produced. So this is what the official definition of rule of origin means. But as we all know, if a particular product is made, means its spare parts will not be made from the country in which the final product is made. The entire supply chain will range from more number of countries. So if a product is made up of 10 spare parts, means each spare parts will be made in different countries. So it is a challenge, because since the most spare parts are made in different countries, we could not say that particular product, if the particular product is finally assembled in a particular country, then that country should be called as rule of origin, will not be accepted anymore. This poses her challenges in the negotiation. So right now they are negotiating. So let's see what is going to happen in the upcoming trade deal between the India and UK. Most favored nation principle. It is one of the principles under which the WTO is formed. It requires that if a country, for example, a country A is providing a certain kind of concession to country B for a particular product, means the similar like product, if the country C or D or E or F so on is also producing, means the similar kind of treatment should also be given to C, D, E, F, G, H, etc. countries, like products, to all member countries. This is what the most favored nation means. Most favored nation principle of WTO agreement means. If India is going to have a free trade agreement with UK and it is going to give some concession for the UK goods and services, means then the other countries which are producing similar like goods and services will also demand the same kind of treatment which the India gives to UK. So what we needed to study further ahead of the news is, we have to know about what is preferential trade agreement, free trade agreement, comprehensive economic partnership agreement, comprehensive economic cooperation agreement, and what are all the difference between them. Since the news centers around WTO and its principle, we also should know about the GATT, the precursor of WTO, and also the WTO, its principles as well as its structures. Third is, we should know about the early harvest scheme. What does this early harvest scheme means and why it is important in the trade relation between the country. So these are all the things which we should know in relation to the news which we have seen now. So let's now discuss the UPSC prelims question which was asked in relation to the news which we have seen now. With reference to water on the planet Earth, consider the following statement. Amount of water in the rivers, lake is more than the amount of water in groundwater. Amount of groundwater. The second is, the amount of water in polar ice caps and glaciers is more than the amount of groundwater. The proportion of the freshwaters is segregated around different sources. The glaciers contains 60% of fresh waters. Then the groundwater contains 30% of the fresh water. The lakes, rivers, ponds, wetlands, etc. carries 1% or less than the 1% of the total fresh water that is available in India. Available across the globe. So based on this data, we could able to comfortably eliminate the option 1. That is, rivers and lakes has more fresh water than the groundwater. No, it's not the case. It is other way around. Groundwater has the more amount of fresh water than the water than the rivers and lakes. Second statement is correct. Glaciers, polar ice caps holds more amount of water than the groundwater. So the option B, only 2 is correct. In the context of Indian economy, the non-financial debt includes which of the following? The debts which is created by the instrument or usage which is not approved or used in the financial sector are called as non-financial debts. And these kind of financial debts does include these kind of non-financial debts. It does include housing loans, amount outstanding on credit cards, as well as treasury bills. So the statement 1, 2, 3 is correct. UPSC mains question. India is an age-old friend of Sri Lanka. Discuss India's role in the recent crisis in Sri Lanka in the light of preceding statement. 10 March 2022 question. I want those students, those who are watching this current affairs session online, please do comment the answer point for the question which we are seeing right now on the board, so that there could be exchange or exchange of views could takes place, and we could able to benefit from other views also, and others could benefit from our views also, so that we could be able to grow equally and everyone could be able to grow. So please do comment for the answer point for this question. So thank you. Please do comment, subscribe, share, as well as like the Ganesh IAS YouTube channel, so that you could able to receive daily notification related to daily current affair session, and also if there are any other important current affair session brought to you by Ganesh IAS.